Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Magic Mom Ministries. I hope you all are having an amazing morning so far, and I'm here to bring you your magic love note. Today, we're going to use the Sacred Path Oracle by Jamie Sams, and I believe it was Linda Childers that illustrated this deck. It's a vintage Native American oracle card deck, so we're going to just pull a few cards for today and see what the universe has to say to us. Our first card today is the powwow card. So this is the sharing or the quickening card. This is about finally getting the idea to do something. Finding the step that you need in order to follow your path further. This could also be about communing with our friends or family too, as well, to further some sort of an endeavor. All right, let's get another card. I apologize if I'm super quiet this morning, but my daughter came in last night at 8:30, and she is sleeping on my couch for a little bit. So I'm excited about my Thanksgiving visit from my oldest daughter. She's going to be here until the 19th, so I'm super excited about that. Maybe I'll try to get my mini-me to pop on screen with me later. All right, got two that fell out right here and two that are in my hand. Okay, so nothing else fell out. All right, so our first two cards look like they are going to be the talking stick cards. So this is about viewpoints and options and making sure that everybody gets their say as far as the points that they want to make in a conversation. This could be about some sort of an agreement. It could be just like calling a family meeting. But this is about making sure that everybody gets their say. And we pulled the Great Mystery card next. The Cradle Board card and the Sacred Space card. Good morning, Katie. I will try to get her on camera later. She's pretty great. Okay, so I think this is really going to be about respecting each other's boundaries today. So we need to make sure that we're really not overstepping. When we're talking to people, we're not giving them more information they ask for or volunteering too much advice, I guess, too. Because the Cradle card is about our ability to respond during communications. So that it may be hindered in some way. You may have some sort of a technology mishap or something like that that causes you not to be able to respond, or for some reason your ability to respond is being blocked. But there's a reason for that. So if you feel like for some reason that you're not being heard, or like you're how can I put it? You're being misunderstood when you say something. Besides the fact that Mercury is going into retrograde this weekend and communication is going to get a little bit more difficult for some of us, it could just be because the universe is trying to push you down a different path and maybe you're not getting the memo. The talking stick and the powwow card are kind of both about getting the memo. So maybe you're missing something. Making sure you're respecting yourself as well too, as your original source as well. Get one more card. This. Okay, so this is about us creating more usable energy. Okay. In some way, we are blocking our energy output or our energy input by our inability to communicate what we need properly. I think that's really what it's going to be about, is us not being able to say what we need to say in the way that we need to say it, or that maybe somebody else is maybe not communicating properly what they need. Yeah, that's a hard one. Let's see if we can pull a few cards out of the affirmators deck, and let's get some clarifiers for our cards here, okay? So the first one I'm going to pull clarifiers for is going to be the powwow and talking stick card, okay? So let's get a card from the affirmators deck to see if maybe they can give us a clarifier as far as how we can get through this particular communication issue. One card about how to overcome the complication with, there we go. Okay, so we pull playfulness and ideal partnership. Okay, so the playfulness card says, I am a playful participant in life, and I always have the option to make something a fun game rather than a heavy burden. Mary Poppins put sugar in the medicine for a reason. That lady really knows how to party. So I think this is about making our communications with other people maybe a little bit more humorous or a little less serious. It could be that maybe we're taking things too seriously too as well. Let's see what the ideal partnership card says. Uh, says, I am a rare and precious find, and my brilliance will be reflected back to me when I am paired with a true match. My ideal partnerships and working relationships are easy and free flowing. I deserve greatness because I am greatness. And to paraphrase Rumi, what I'm looking for is also looking for me. In fact, he or she might be paraphrasing Rumi right now. So I think maybe in a way we're not listening to a little bit of advice that we've been given to somebody by somebody close to us. And this could also too be that there maybe is a reason that things are being mirrored to us in the way that they are, and that people are really just showing us how we really feel about ourselves. So when we're feeling like we're not being seen and heard, maybe it's because we're not actually seeing and hearing ourselves properly too as well. So make sure you're coming at it from that perspective first. Always approach every challenge in your life as an opportunity to prove who and what you are. And you are not unseen and unheard. So remember, there's always somebody out there listening. And even if you don't see it, so pay attention to the little signs. They're going to point you in the right direction. All right. Let's get a card on original source and usable energy. Good morning, Nara. And thank you, Katie. That is beautiful. And I try my best to always be what I need. So it works out. Okay, so the oh my goodness, I didn't notice this either. The Thunder Beings card And the Great Mystery card are consecutive numbers as well. So let's see what the 9 and 10 have to say to us today. Looks like we have 7, we have 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's actually really funny. Hold on a second. I just noticed that. Okay, so we have 15, which is a 6, right? So there's our 6. 25, which is 7. 44, which is 8. 27, which is 9. Our other 9. 3 plus 6. And 7 plus 3 is 10. So we have a serious progression going here. So what this is telling me is over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, really. So since when is that? June? We'll say the end of May to the beginning of July. Sometime in that time period, something was started that's now reaching culmination. We're starting to get a little bit of an inkling as far as where we're headed. To get back to that, though, the Great Mystery card and the Thunder Beings card. Now that I've been distracting myself with numbers, let's see what the affirmation for those two is going to be from the Affirmators deck. Okay, so the key to this is going to be staying out of judgment of ourselves. Okay, we've been getting this card a lot lately, so I'm just going to give you a recap. I release myself from any and all judgments. I find my inner critic, call it into my office, and tell it to take a vacation, a permanent one. As it leaves the room, I let out a sigh and begin to enjoy the joy of simply being. Who hired that guy anyway? So we really need to get out of our own way, and that's going to mean telling our ego to shut up and get in the back seat where it belongs. Our heart is now driving our sacred vehicle because we all chose team love, right? So let's figure out what our ability to respond and respect have to say. And perseverance. Ooh, I like this one. So a bonus card, okay? So perseverance says, it seems you're on a massive journey right now, and this card has arrived to remind you that you will reach the other side. The mountains you're climbing are huge and formidable, but so is your ability to climb them. You don't need to enjoy it. Remember, you don't need to enjoy it. You just need to tackle it. Complain if it makes the job easier. Blow off steam. You think mountain climbers get to the top of Everest on inspirational quotes alone? Negative. They're grunting and crying and cursing like frickin' pirates. That just doesn't sell a lot of posters. So try to remember, everyone, that we're all going through this together. And even though some of us may not show the darkest and ugliest parts, we're still all doing it. And part of this process is learning how to respect each other's personal boundaries, respect each other's processes, and learning the ability to respond. We're all kind of going through this thing right now where the way we used to handle things is not working anymore. So we're being forced to pick different ways. And the more and more we do that, the easier and easier it's going to get. But if you keep sinking back down into Alice's rabbit hole and blocking yourself from original source and blocking your usable energy, it's no wonder that nobody is understanding your viewpoints, or sharing in your process if you're not being completely and 100% authentic all the time. So that means if somebody's making you feel something, say it, you know, even if that somebody's you. If you're making yourself feel a certain way, say it to yourself too. Say, okay, I'm done with that. We're not going to go there again. The end. And don't. People want to sit there and poo-poo and say that they do things because blah, blah, blah did blah, 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 but they really did it because that was the choice they chose. We all have a choice how we respond to things. We may not have a choice of what we're responding to, but we always have a choice of how we respond. So really keep a lid on your ability to respond today and how you are sharing how you feel. And make sure that you're always doing it in a respectful manner. It's the only way that we can keep the positive energy flowing. Otherwise, it gets blocked by the negative shit. Then we have to start the whole process all over again. So make sure you're giving everybody their opportunity with the talking stick. The thunder beings are watching us. And it's time to make sure that we all remember that each other's person is our sacred space. So it's the only real sacred space you have is the flesh vehicle that your soul's driving. So that is really where we need to be concentrating right now. Not on what other people are doing, but what on we're doing ourselves. And then everything else will unroll as it needs to. So I think that's going to be it for today's Magic Morning Message. Hopefully that made sense. I feel like I was a little scattered today, but it is what it is, right? So for me, Magic Mom Ministries, we love, support, and appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me yet again. Remember, because you're a blessing, go out, or because you're blessed, go out and be a blessing and know you are every day in my life. I love all of you. Be good and have a beautiful day. And I'll see you a little earlier today than 5 for the evening live streams because we have a 5 p.m. Seahawks game here. So I can't be live during that. So for me and all the 12s here, we love you. Stay beautiful.